humor took center stage for part of last night's program at the DNC.
Yeah, and that was deliberate because they brought in actor Mindy Kaling from The Office and Saturday Night Live's Kenan Thompson, and they made their political points with some comedy.
You know how when you download an app and there are hundreds of pages there that you don't read, it's just the terms and conditions, and you just click agree, right? Well, these are the terms and conditions of a second Trump presidency. You vote for him, you vote for all of this. Let's take a look.
Thompson went on to highlight the controversial policy agendas of Project 2025 alongside some guests. Kaling joked about outing Kamala Harris as Indian during a cooking demonstration while Harris was a senator. These remarks poke some fun at some of the racial remarks that Trump has made against Harris and when she became black. In his words.
Right, his comment. I don't know. Yes.
A lot of star power at the convention, as we've seen.
From those comedians to singers, the party continued. It definitely continued on night 3. That's John Legend performing a tribute with Sheila E. to Prince, who was from Minnesota, of course, all ahead of Governor Tim Walz taking the stage. Stevie Wonder also sang, bringing everyone to their feet.
And we know it makes for a really fun night and a big party to have this type of star power and music and celebrities. But does it help? Do you think it just helps draw attention? Could it lead to votes? What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, look, it's just like with commercial advertising, right? I don't know that we don't consciously say, because Shaquille O'Neal uses this particular lotion, that I need to use it. But it makes associations with people that we respect or people that we enjoy, and then those associations can translate into support. But it's not a direct connection. It's a way to get attention, and they used it effectively this week.
Well, and I'm sure it'll be used on social media too. So there's
no
power
question.
in that.
There's no question.
Speaking of, the DNC gave media access to more than 200 digital content creators and social media influencers. We've seen their booths right here on this floor. Is that helping connect Gen Z voters, in your opinion? Is it a signal that Democrats, want them more than Republicans, or are making them more of a priority?
Yeah, and I wasn't able to make it to up to Milwaukee this year, so I don't know exactly what the setup was. But I've been all through this arena this week, and the amount of space that has been given to content creators is really amazing. Several different levels, several different iterations. And look, I think it is a nod to Gen Z for sure. But remember, just because Gen Z are the folks that are creating this content, many generations are absorbing it, right? I mean, they're scrolling TikTok while they're waiting at the DMV, just like the young folks are. And so, it was really a wise decision, I think, on the part of the organizers.
And I can say really quickly, I was in Milwaukee, and I didn't walk around everywhere, but I can definitely say they did set aside some areas for sure, but it didn't seem from my observation to be as much of a priority.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely effective when you have 200 people creating content around your message and what you've got going on. All right, let's talk about actress and producer Mindy Kaling, who we just heard from there. She was the host last night. None of the celebrities here, I've noticed, are just showing up and just saying, hey, I'm here. But there's a lot of passion behind what they're saying. Does that mean more than maybe that simple endorsement of vote for this person?
Yeah, and I think, Mindy Kaling used her comedy to sort of highlight the racial and ethnic aspects of it, which was something unique this year at this convention compared to 2008 when we were in Denver, where Barack Obama was trying as much as he could not to be talking about race. And you may remember, until the Jeremiah Wright controversy, he didn't want to talk about race directly at all. They're leaning into it a little bit more here, because it's a different era, it's a different time, it's a different way, and a different voting group, group of voters and how they think about race. And so I'll be interested to see tonight how Kamala Harris leverages both the racial and the gender aspects that are reflected through the star power to her own message tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's such a good point. And I'm thinking about how older voters typically are the more reliable voters. It's the younger ones that you've got to get to the polls to vote. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out.
Sure.
All right. As always, thanks so much, Stephen. And at 6:15, you'll be back talking about some of the rising stars in the Democratic Party and the other big names who spoke last night. And there were a lot.